Good morning. It's May 18th, Thursday. And we all remember that a couple of weeks ago, a young man who was 21 years old and was releasing classified documents to his, what shall I call them, his Twitter mates. This weekly group that met, or maybe they met daily, and they would discuss the several different topics, and he showed off the documents that had come into his possession working in the National Guard. And it was a big expose, a blight on our security system. And so here we are, I don't know, a month and a half later, and finally the Department of Homeland Security has decided that it would be a good idea to figure out, to learn, to investigate who has access to classified documents. So the Department of Homeland Security has directed its agencies to review and assess who has access to classified information. And this move is directly related to the highly classified leak of the Pentagon documents by that young guardsman earlier this year. What the hell took them so long? Why would they even have to issue such an order? The minute this was discovered, action should have been taken by all of those branches who are passing out classified documents on a regular basis, right? I would think once this happened, every one of these organizations that has classified documents would be up on their toes and make sure that everything is being done correctly within their own universe. I would not expect that the Department of Homeland Security would have to issue such an edict to remind people to check and see this thing. These are classified documents. I'm shocked at the way this happened. I'm shocked at the way we handle these documents. I'm shocked that we have so many different places where classified documents appear. I guess within every organization, within every department, there are classified documents. And there's a level within the classified documents. Not everything is super top secret, you know. So there are some classified documents that are really minor issues, but they're still classified for one reason or another. So they ask in this memo that agencies review and validate the number of personnel who require access to classified national security information. And pay particular attention to those having access to sensitive, compartmented information. And they want them to do all of this by the end of June. Well, in my mind, this thing should have already been completed. They shouldn't have had to send out an order that the agencies should start looking and seeing and making sure that their classified document procedures are according to Hoyle. And maybe they even have to tighten them up. Do they have to remind them? Are these people who are in charge of handling classified documents not given the rules and regulations and the particulars on how to handle these documents? Obviously, this is not an isolated case. I do not believe, given what I have seen, the way our government is operating over the past couple of years, that this is an isolated incident. I believe that there's probably been other leaks, but they have been minor, and so they haven't come to the forefront. And the Department of Homeland Security is asleep at the switch in my mind if it takes them all this time to decide to send out a memo. There should have been orders released almost immediately. And in this memo it includes, for example, employees, contractors, task force officers, state, local, tribal, private sector partners. Those are all the organizations that have been issued this edict. And then they make note that this memo is not meant to arbitrarily reduce the number of security clearances that are issued or the number of people that have access to these documents or have a clearance. They are not trying to lower the level of clearance personnel, and they're not trying to lower the level of people who have access to this information. They are trying to tighten up the rules for the people that are required to handle these things, doing their official duties and their missions. So you would think that there would be periodic reviews that are done for this very reason. Classified information cannot be moved around haphazardly for years without anybody paying attention to the procedures constantly. The people responsible for managing these organizations ought to have procedures in place that guarantee classified documents cannot be easily transmitted to the universe. Now, I am probably off the wall right now, but it seems to me we are very slipshod in many areas of government because people become relaxed and they do their jobs and they think everybody's doing things the right way. I would think there should have been security clearance monitoring as an ongoing procedure, constantly checking up to make sure that every location is doing the proper thing. And maybe we don't have the staff to do that. Maybe we don't have the money to put into the staff to do these things. But if we don't, we better get it straightened out. We as a nation can't afford to be caught flat-footed again and again. This is a terrible situation, and it has to be remedied properly. So it's a shanda that we have to worry about our classified documents. And it took so damn long, in my mind, for Homeland Security to act, to tighten up the procedures. So I leave you with that this morning. Another disgrace. Bye.